The topics of the stream today is number one, we're going to discuss and watch a video that is by Dr. Disaster. 1348 eggs Voto deaths embarrasses the modern audience and it backfires. Second, activist Fable dev admits making more aggressively queer game studios DEI initiatives outline. That is from Vera Dark. We're gonna watch Vera Dark. And third, so those are the two actually gaming topics, and then we're gonna continue with some superhero topics for the superhero channel, on which we are also streaming. So Jason Momoa is Lobo, James Gunn Unveils, and we talk about his design and how much we think that it sucks and why do we think that it sucks, based on how Lobo should look in the comic books, and Jason Momoa lack of desire to work out. And then fourth, Zack Snyder has new Justice League plans as James Gunn is kept quiet, which is going to be an interesting article to read. And five, and most outrageous maybe, we have Warhammer 40k female Custodes Repulsing, absolutely repulsing article that Tsunami has the honor to read. So after each section, we usually take a look at your live comments and we talk about it. Today, we just have 1 hour to go through 5 topics. So we're gonna do whatever we can, guys, but we are really pressed with the time. So just apologies, just how it happened. Otherwise, there was not gonna be any stream.
Yeah.
So I mean that I need to recover, and we either had to like skip everything and for me to take a few days off, or have to take a bit more time for myself in the morning so I can sleep a bit more and we can still do this. So plus minus. Okay, so tonight, first of all, I'm gonna play this video from Dr. Disrespect. We're gonna watch it. I'm gonna stop. We're gonna talk about certain areas. It's about 11 minutes long. And after that, we're not gonna talk about during the video. That's what I mean. Only when I stop it, and then we're gonna talk about it. Okay, that's how we're gonna avoid some sound issues as well. So, playing the video, let's see what this game is about. So I'm just gonna say a quick recap. There's 2 games, medieval games, that were basically unveiled in one day. One is Knight's Path, which is a super interesting game, third-person action RPG. Kind of looks similar like KCD2, but it actually isn't. It's more similar to other games that the developers were inspired by, especially the combat. Like the combat, for example, should resemble something like Sekiro instead of something like KCD. And of course, it's third-person, and it should be a bit more dynamic and interesting than KCD. Well, we'll see, of course. Still in development, and also the devs are prepping a demo. They also showed a beautiful female character that looked very realistic. And of course, woke people complained absolutely because they hate beauty, then don't respect that they do think that everybody should look horrible because that is what realism is.
Just because they look horrible.
Just because they look horrible, yes. And the first frame for this video, we see Smash JT, who is of course a friend of the channel. So he started this trend, I think maybe a month ago, trying to ask ChatGPT, hey ChatGPT, here is this horrible looking female character, please make her actually beautiful. And ChatGPT, being an AI, it just spits out an objectively beautiful female character. It's just that it always makes it either like more anime or something else that's very generic, still beautiful but extremely generic. So that's one thing that we have to note about ChatGPT. It's super generic. It never makes anything that's like unique beauty, but it just makes at least beauty. So I just want to point out that this is not realistic as well. No. From the standpoint of a design, developers can make much more beautiful and actually looking like real people, female characters, and ChatGPT can just spit out something that kind of looks like a Hollywood plastic surgery operation in which everybody has the same features, which does make them look generic. I mean, the point was to make, the point that, ChatGPT can recognize what's beauty, even if it's generic, it doesn't matter. That was not the point. But just saying, because people are like, oh, you see, this is how the character can look like. No, the character could look like actually much better.
It could be much better.
Just see the Knight's I mean, the character that I already covered actually in my video from yesterday on the gaming channel. So yeah, the character that they actually made in Knight's Path, it is super beautiful, supernatural character. That's actually what ChatGPT will not do, but developers would, like real artists. And she even looks like Melissa Benoist from Supergirl TV series. But anyway, that is a long introduction to everything, but I do have to mention it. So now let's play the video and we're gonna discuss, and no talking during the video, like I said. No talking. Okay.
ChatGPT to make her beautiful.
Does anybody hear any? Oh, hold on.
Yes,
Now we started.
because this is what women looked like in medieval times. They always want realism until it comes to the female characters.
Blue Sky users have gone so far down the retard hole, they think a lesbian sword-fighting girl boss is more realistic than a beautiful maiden in medieval times.
You're not the same. You're a sick asshole.
What's up, Space Pirates? This is your Admiral, the heroically humble Dr. Disaster, and the level of butthurt from the progressive shitlibs out there over the game Knight's Path is off the charts.
Dog-kissing, brainless, dickless, hopeless.
In case you aren't familiar with Knight's Path, this is the game here. It is being designed by 4 dudes somewhere, 4 regular dudes, so it is the definition of an indie game. And it has come under fire because they posted this on X the other day on their official X account. It's an image of a normal, good-looking female character from their game, and in response to this, one of these people asked if there was also going to be LGBT representation, and the Knight's Path X account essentially told them,
Get out of here! Go on! Get the hell out of here!
You will note that there was no animosity toward the game until the makers of it decided not to play ball with the queer crowd. They didn't seem to have a problem, the so-called queers that is, with the attractive female character until they were being shut down. But now, the progressives are losing their minds over the whole situation, calling the game all sorts of names, throwing out all kinds of accusations, saying that it's AI generated and all that sort of thing. But unfortunately for them, this whole debacle has resulted in 100,000 wish lists for this game after being listed on Steam for only a few weeks.
That is awesome. That's 100,000. Hey, Tsunami, did you wishlist the game actually?
No, I haven't.
Well,
haven't.
you should though. You should.
Yep.
Just to help them out. Yeah.
Just a friendly reminder, guys, to wishlist the game, because even if you don't get it, it is awesome to show support to these developers that have absolute bravery to stand against the woke freaking tsunami.
The woke freaking tsunami.
Yes.
Please. Alter ego.
Tsunami that has nothing to do with you. You're an awesome tsunami. Okay, continuing.
Talk about your all-time backfires.
Well, in response to all this, another developer who also has a medieval-styled game coming out soon appears to have gotten pretty pissed off at the success of Knight's Path. The developers in question are the makers of the game 1348X Voto. This is a game that features this supposedly female character.
That's a woman?
They have attempted to insert themselves into this conversation, taking the opportunity to have a few.
I thought that was a boy the first time that.
I also thought it was a boy.
Yeah, and I even wrote on X8 that's a girl. What? That's a boy. What are you talking about? So by this point, guys, if you haven't noticed, the woke people, they are so insecure within themselves and how they look like and what they think about the world and how they are perceived by others and whatever. They're so freaking insecure, have so many complexes
Absolutely, yeah.
they want to project their own insecurities towards everybody. So now they hate actual beauty. They hate what makes women special and unique, which is, of course, well, beauty, special type of intelligence, intuition, and interesting skills. Whatever makes a woman interesting, they just hate the heck out of that.
Yeah.
And they deny sex appeal and femininity. So, yeah. I mean, Tsunami, do you have a comment about the ugliness of this boy that I'm not gonna call a girl?
No, it just she's revolting, obviously. So maybe
Yeah.
she, who knows?
I would say if they think that this is the case, remember in Joan of Arc, the movie with Mila Jovovich?
Yes.
Mhm.
She had a similar haircut.
Yes.
She still looked beautiful.
Oh, she's Mila Jovovich.
Exactly. So, I mean, those people really, Jesus Christ.
I mean, if they really want to go for that haircut, they can still make her a female
Still make
character.
it- exactly. Yeah. But no, here the whole combination is just wrong. You know, the hair, the face. It is a freaking boy.
Yeah. Plus, a female knight. Like, girls don't need to be knights. They want to be what, slaughtered. I mean, knights get slaughtered. She's not gonna be expecting any long life.
Yeah.
So that's again anti-feminine, anti-female, anti-everything that makes a woman. And just go against the freaking nature here. I mean, I love female warriors like Xena Warrior Princess, but she's freaking believable. She's big, she's strong, she's still beautiful. She kicks ass. She has a lot of abilities that she earned throughout the years. She suffered for them greatly. So and yeah, although she's a human, she has like really so many abilities, strategy, like she's a military genius, all those things. That is believable. And she does also live in a semi-historical mythical world. So it's totally believable.
Yeah.
And she does show a lot of strength and power behind her hits and everything. She's not anemic looking, but now, these days when they try to pick a woman and try to say that she's a warrior, they all look like anemic. And in this case, this girl that's to me is a boy looks like an anemic child that Spartans would drop out of a cliff.
Yeah.
From a cliff. When Spartans see that, they're gonna say, "What the actual F in God's Zeus name is this shit?"
Yeah,
We're gonna take that thing and throw it off a cliff.
Who actually knighted this woman? I mean, who would make her a knight woman? Whatever that.
Her own ego.
Her own ego.
Her own
Okay,
ego.
so she's just a knight of herself. And she's
Yeah.
like, no, I'm a knight now. You can't tell me no. Oh.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's continue with the video. I mean, Tsunami, you can always say something, before playing the video if you like.
No, all good.
Okay, playing the video.
Swipes at Knight's Path, but it does not appear to have helped them very much. They are getting destroyed in the head-to-head numbers on their trailers, and they are getting crushed by Knight's Path on Steam right now. They thought the modern audience would swoop in and save them, but they have summoned a different beast instead. Modern audience. Here, modern audience.
I've got a little snack for you.
We always do that in our
Yes.
spare time.
Amazing.
Just to let you know, when we watch his videos, we always do that.
Alright, me hearties, make sure you smack that like button on this video, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, then what are you waiting for? We have been gathering up a lot of new subscribers lately, and it is already time to ask the following question.
How many assholes we got on this ship anyhow?
We now have 191,000 space pirate a-holes in this buccaneer crew of ours, and as is the custom on this channel, with every 1,000 new subscribers we add a new ship to the fleet in order to house one of my all-time favorite ship designs.
Skipping
But
ahead.
if anyone out there has recommendation section, so up to the top, it really means a lot to me.
I knew it. I'm surrounded
Just go watch his video, the full video and all of that, guys. So let's continue with the topic.
by assholes.
Alright, so let's talk about how this game
Okay, it's also in description of the video, the 2 videos that
Yeah.
we're gonna watch. So it's here. It's here anyway. But yeah, thank you.
1348X Voto is doing now that they decided to embrace the modern audience and spit in the face of the chuds. First of all,
Hold on, guys. I just want to say something.
Yeah.
Hold on. Just keep your butt held.
so let's
Hold your
talk
butt.
about how this game 1348X Voto is doing now that they decided to embrace the modern audience and spit in the face of the chud.
Yeah.
Why is this girl beautiful?
Because.
How did this happen?
Because George.
So only this girl can be beautiful?
Because George. Because the ugly one is a lesbian.
Ah.
That's going to save for you. So the lesbian that is ugly,
Mm-hmm.
showing her bravery, deserves the beautiful one, but then they do not exist if you ask them. So how does this work?
I mean, I don't know if that's
Jesus
supposed to be
Christ.
her girlfriend.
Yeah.
Is that
I
supposed to
think
be her
that's
girlfriend?
yeah.
Old Butchie wants the princess.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
So this girl can be beautiful in medieval times, but the other one can't.
No.
And if they hate men so much, why do they always have to make women look like men?
By the way, I checked, and there were no well-recorded, historical evidences of lesbian knights. So, how do they claim that it's historically accurate? And they say that the other game is not historically accurate
Yeah.
because
They
of makeup.
probably would have been burned at the stake if they got caught doing that.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, yes, absolutely.
Exactly.
Okay, maybe there were some female knights or some women doing knightly deeds, although not
officially a
not
knight.
officially a knight, but lesbian knights, man, hell no. And then they'll tell me, no, the other game is historically inaccurate because she's beautiful and she wears makeup.
The other
Freaking
game-
ancient Egyptians wore makeup.
Yeah, Greek people too.
Yeah.
That's normal.
Jesus
They
Christ,
kind of
yeah.
invented it. I mean, Egyptian people. That's
Yeah.
another story.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, she doesn't look healthy because I agree that she
Kind
looks
of,
sickly. I'm
yeah.
watching the comments as much as possible, guys. But she is objectively beautiful. Otherwise, she has big eyes, good nose, good lips, good shape of the face, cheekbones. Whatever. She's beautiful. Maybe she's not healthy at the moment, but
It looks way better than the other one.
Mhm. Anyway, so they are capable of making a good face if it fits their agenda, somehow. Okay, let's continue.
First of all, to be clear, you wouldn't have needed this whole situation to have known that this game was going to be feminist drivel. All you have to do is look at the main character from this game. This is who they are trying to sell to you. This ugly, androgynous looking thing is supposedly a female, though I see no evidence of that. Apparently in this game you play as this character and you are a knight, or you're learning to be a knight or something like that. And you know what? If that floats your boat, if that is the sort of game that you want to play, then so be it. Have at it, no judgments, I don't care. But despite getting propped up by the system, so to speak, as a PS5 game and whatnot, their original trailer, as you can see here from almost half a year ago, hit only 121,000 views. And they weren't ratioed, but back then they weren't on anyone's radar at all either, and they were still hit pretty hard with a very iffy ratio, getting about 4.8 thousand likes versus 2.2 thousand dislikes. For a smaller studio making a niche game, well, they didn't exactly set the world on fire, but it's basically what you would expect from a title in that situation. The number of dislikes was a little heavier than you would normally see, but still. Anyhow, the other day, when the makers of Knight's Path told the LGBT crowd that they weren't going to add any LGBT stuff into their game, the devs for 1348 apparently took that personally. They posted this, taking an obvious shot at Knight's Path. They said,
Don't forget to wishlist and note the release date on your modern agenda.
So you have chosen death.
Now, let's compare this newest trailer from 1348.
I just have to say something here. So nobody was doing anything to them,
Yeah.
and they just decided to take a shot at Knight's Path developers. Now, Who does that? Who does that? Let me think. Is it possible that they are like pathetic and very cringy evil people? Is it possible? Today, what do you think?
Absolutely. They saw what was going on with Knight's Path, and they decided to pick a side, which is why that the whole Saruman thing was just so perfect. They chose death.
Yeah, because the nice bad guys were just like, hey, we're just not putting any agendas in our game. Full stop. Like, go somewhere else if you want somebody to kiss your ass. So they didn't actually direct that towards anybody, but just answering the question. But those guys from 18, I don't know what that is, I don't care. They're like, ooh, now we're gonna diss this studio because we're so different. We're so much better. We're gonna push them
Yeah.
down so we can look good.
Look, we are with you, with the modern people who.
Very pathetic.
Yeah.
Okay, continuing.
To the trailer from Knight's Path. We will look at Knight's Path first. Their first trailer came out just a few days ago. They have over 411,000 views on it so far, and take a look at this healthy ratio. They have managed 24,000 likes to virtually 0 dislikes. That is a level of success that 1348 simply does not seem to be able to reach. But boy oh boy, they sure are trying. 1348 put out this trailer of theirs just a couple of days ago, a brand new trailer, and here are the numbers for it. They've gotten 78,000 views in 2 days, and take a look at the like to dislike numbers. They haven't quite been ratioed yet, but I imagine that is only a matter of time. There are currently 2.7 thousand likes versus 2.4 thousand dislikes. It seems to me that the modern audience may not have been the right horse to back in this race. But look at this post here where this X user breaks down the numbers on Steam that we are seeing thus far for each of these games. This person did a nice bit of analysis, so we're going to read everything they wrote. It says here, the Voto devs are seething because Knight's Path, a small indie game made by 4 people, has 5 times the number of followers despite not being industry backed / signal boosted by corpos and journalists, unlike 1348X Voto, and their modern agenda post, which is an obvious attempt at a dig towards Knight's Path, who said, we just want to create fun, not agendas, has botted likes. I can almost guarantee this with certainty. It has 18,000 likes, despite a pretty low amount of engagement, most of which are just ratioing / making fun of them. My guess is that the ex-Voto devs are very upset and salty about the fact that the small 4-man indie game is getting much more attention and traction, so they want to insert themselves into the spotlight of the controversy. And then this person wrote, Knight's Path is also doing far better in terms of wish lists and followers on Steam. If you're unaware, wish lists are massive for unreleased games, as it essentially determines how well the game will do in the algorithm once it's out, how many Steam users will be shown the game on offer. For comparison, wish lists, Knight's Path is number 435 and Voto is 613. Wishlist activity showed Knight's Path at 19 and Voto at 179, and the follower count is Knight's Path at almost 10k versus Voto at 4.6k. Obviously, this isn't even close. The progressives are pissing their pants about Knight's Path, willing it to fail, but they seem incapable of making it happen. Meanwhile, ask yourself this. Why aren't they simply supporting the game that they supposedly want? 1348 sounds like it's precisely what they have been asking for, and yet they still aren't wishlisting it and propping it up. And I think the answer to that is pretty simple. The modern audience does not buy games. They just try to change the ones that you want to play in order to feel like they're important. But I'm going to leave it there.
Yeah, indeed, guys, go watch the original video to support this guy. Now let's comment a little bit. First, Logan, what do you think?
Well, as he said, I really think that those old guys don't play any games or watch all those movies. That they just want to mess up what makes us happy, because they don't want us to be happy.
Yes, and
Yeah,
even if
they don't care. Yeah.
this game, even if this game wasn't woke or anything like that, still doesn't look interesting.
Still doesn't look
Even if you
interesting,
replace
yeah.
her with a guy,
Yeah,
actually,
yeah,
it doesn't look
yeah.
interesting at all. They didn't show anything that we never seen before. Whereas the whole progression idea of Knight's Path, how you have to build your path. I mean, you have to become better, because previously you were like a disgraced knight or something like that, and you can build yourself to become a king or whatever.
Yeah. So again,
amazing,
if a game it's not good, again we're not going to play it, because even if it was a guy, though ugly looking guy anyway, but still, no, just make an interesting game. But if you're going to just put those modern things, make a game for yourself, get the hell out of here, and say this game is just for our agendas and everything else like that, and for the modern audience, and play it, and and that's it, and leave us be.
Yeah.
We say don't mess up the movies, don't mess up the games, don't mess up the freaking comic books, because it's in there too now. So yeah.
So yeah, Tsunami, what do you think?
I think that I'm really happy that these wokies, they created their own thing. It's their own game, whatever. It happened to fall at the same time as Knight's Path. That's whatever. They finally went ahead, instead of messing with an existing property, went and built something on their own. If they just would have kept their mouths shut, they could have been like, "We hope you like our game. Let us know what you think when it comes out." Instead, they went and picked a fight because they're fucking. Seething is the absolute fucking correct word here. That four dudes made a game and are just talking like normal people. They thought that a tactic that would have probably worked a few years ago, that, oh, even if we get negative attention, it'll still bring attention on our game. They went and picked a fucking fight. And now what they've really failed to realize is, when people do this, just like you said, now we should all go wishlist the game. They're going to actively make people go against their game on it. I couldn't have cared less about this game. I didn't even know what it was until you mentioned it tonight. And now I'm definitely going to go ahead and wishlist Night Path. And to hell with this piece of shit. But whatever. They're stupid. They're going to learn the hard way.
Yeah, that's because Tsunami, they're not intellectually honest, If they were like the right side, at least there will be exactly what you said. I mean, they will just make their game, although they know that half of the populace, more than half, doesn't agree with their agenda. But they will not say anything. They will try to be graceful about it and whatever. But that's not their nature. Their whole nature is malicious and freaking evil, like literally evil. So they cannot help themselves to show their true nature. They cannot have class. We will never go to them intentionally and try to pick their nose for no reason. I mean,
for no reason. Yeah.
there is a reason, but the point is that most people that are intelligent, they will not go and hate on them. They're just gonna wait and see the game, and if the game has a good story, they're at least going to separate the freaking agenda from the quality of the storytelling or whatever. They're still not gonna agree with the agenda, but at least we can objectively measure if the game is good or not. But now nobody wants to do anything like that. Nobody wants to be objective about it. I mean, it's a ruin. It's already a absolute shit of a product in everybody's eyes. They lost because of their freaking attitude and evil mindset. So it is. I mean, they're making games, but this game they did lose. So yeah.
Indeed.
Okay, guys, so now we're gonna move on to the next video that we have to watch. That's Vara Dark. So this is also very interesting, and actually this is connected again to this game. It's gonna be pretty cool. So the video also is in the description of the comments, guys. So we are moving on because we have like 40 minutes to cover the rest of the topics. I am seeing your comments, but you just can't read them now. We gotta move on. If you want us to cover all the topics that are pretty awesome today. So let's play this, see what Vara's gonna show us here, and yeah, we have a lot to discuss. It's about Fable actually. Yeah, it's about Fable. So let's see.
Ever since we got our first look at it, and that's not going to change anytime soon. We keep finding out that they are removing certain features and characters, that this is a
Oh, wait. You're gonna start from the beginning because I forgot. I forgot
Yeah,
to
okay.
explain something. So basically, guys, the other day, Fable trailer was released, and the studio that makes Forza, it's making this game. And you know, Forza is a car game. This isn't the original studio that made Fable. Can't make it for some reason. I'm not sure why, but now they're making Fable. And if we totally not see all the diversity in the game actually looks extremely beautiful
Yeah.
and well made. But that is just on face value. I'm talking just about the design and the visuals, nothing else. Other than that, there are some choices in the game that have to do with real life consequences. I mean, when you pick something, something else will happen. It's gonna have a ripple effect. That's what the devs explain, which is great because this is an RPG. But then they go over the trailer, they show all the visuals, and you see these black people all
Can go
around
around there. Yeah.
looking like modern people in an actual game that's supposed to be fantasy, and they have these afro hairstyles and whatever, and I'm like, what? This is taking me out of this setting. And I know that of course people are gonna say it doesn't matter, this is fantasy.
Oh, but
Man,
it matters.
they don't fit there. If
Mm.
this was a game about an awesome world in Africa where people, you know, people there, the indigenous people are, you know, primarily black, and white person shows up, well, that white person has to be somehow dressed in safari clothes because otherwise I
Jesus
don't
Christ.
believe that he's supposed to be there. I mean, of course, white people are also in Africa, but back then, when we're talking about something that's supposed to be taking place in the past somewhere in medieval times, let's say, but in Africa, like fantasy land and whatever, you still have to ground it in reality to a point, because certain things just don't fit, and our brains knows that they don't fit. So we don't need actually diversity in everything.
Yeah.
If you are just a normal human being who wants to play a game, you can play as a woman, you can play as a man, and yeah, I mean that's really it.
I mean, let's go back
Doesn't
to
matter.
Xeno when they actually had a lot of black people walking around in the show.
In the show,
But they
yeah.
fit because they didn't have their freaking modern haircuts.
Yeah.
You know, they had actually haircuts that were kind of, you know, blending within the world there. And nobody was walking with an afro or things like that unless she went to Africa. Did she go to Africa?
Yeah, she
No.
went to Egypt.
She went to Egypt, yes.
Well, actually, that guy that passed away, I forgot his name, the actor that played, damn it, what was, not Cyclops, sorry. That guy, the Mariner guy, I forgot his name, guys.
The what?
One Mariner guy that, you know, had a Cyclops, something like that. Anyway, that actor is very cool, but he passed away, I think, 2 years ago. He did have kind of like a black person hairdo. He definitely had some kind of a, yeah, you know, hairdo like that, but very long hair. And I don't know, he looks exactly like a pirate, how he's supposed to look like. So somehow, some way, the point is that they made those actors fit.
Yeah.
Then
Believable.
and there, and you totally forgot that they were black. Now, was this a forced diversity? No, they just decided to pick great actors. Those are really great actors.
Indeed.
Should that happen in a mythology-based historical / show? Well, you know, it's complete fantasy, including here and there some characters like Caesar that are historical figures, but it's up for debate. But if they fit, if they can make them fit without ever mentioning their race, which they never did, then it's totally like seamless and it's fine. But here in Fable, well, first is a game, second, a game can do whatever it wants, yes, but still context matters. And the previous Fable game didn't have that. So now all of a sudden, to put you know, black characters that look like modern people, at least make them look like, you know, like fantasy characters.
Like fantasy characters,
but
indeed,
they're not. They're cosplaying. They all look like they're cosplaying in that game. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. LARPing.
LARPing. Yeah, LARPing. The whole game looks like one big LARPing convention.
Yeah.
And that's a problem that takes you out, the immersion and everything. Now, it's a good thing that you can make your own character and you can make the character a man, which I would do. I just love to play with male characters anyway, to see a female figure, not a female, a male
They should have
figure on the screen.
show us that in the trailers before that, because why did they intentionally show us in all the trailers before that ugly
Ugly ass.
ugly ass woman there? And I thought, are we playing with that there? You know, at least we can create something.
I mean,
guess.
she literally has an acne ass for a face.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly.
Okay, never mind. I'm taking. Yeah, I'm on a rant.
Premise. Yeah, I was like, what? Fuck did this go?
Okay, so let's just listen to Vera. I mean, they're gonna explain something about the game. I really don't care by this point because it's such a diversity stupid thing. But anyway, let's watch Vera.
Fable has been heavily scrutinized ever since we got our first look at it, and that's not going to change anytime soon. We keep finding out that they are removing certain features and characters, that this is a modern day reimagining of Fable, and it doesn't sound to be all that faithful. But to top it off, we are now finding out that Playground Games is, not shockingly at all, filled to the brim with activists. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, it is perfectly fine to have your own opinions on the world. If you can go to work and leave your personal politics at the door and actually create a fulfilling experience that fans want, that's perfectly fine. You're allowed to have your own opinion, but the problem is that so many people working within entertainment and specifically the video game industry go into it with the mindset of they want to change the world and they want to push a certain viewpoint on you because they want you to be less of a terrible person, because if you are not with them, you are against them. And it seems that a lot of the people over at Fable are these activists, and well, they are having some of their posts made fun of on social media. We are finding out about their DEI policies, and when you know that this is Microsoft at the end of the day, it's really no shocker. Now, surprisingly, I had covered this, I believe it was about 2 months ago, that Microsoft was quietly walking back their diversity efforts. They were no longer going to be publishing such in-depth DEI reports anymore. It seemed that they were trying to face a little bit of less backlash and they didn't want as much scrutiny under the Trump admin. But ultimately, we knew that a company like Microsoft wasn't going to just magically get rid of these programs, because when the admin changes again in a couple of years, they're going to probably want them to be able to just flip a switch and turn on again. But yeah, Microsoft is definitely one of the companies that has pushed this very heavily, and there are quite a lot of posts being made about Playground Games and about Microsoft and about the team behind Fable. And even looking at Fable, you could tell that this was a game made for the modern audience. It doesn't have the charm or the aesthetics of Fable anymore. It seemed too close to something like Avowed, where they wanted it to have modern day graphics and all these modern storytelling elements and this modern cast of characters, but they just wanted to use the name Fable because they knew a couple more people would buy a Fable game instead of a brand new series. Look at what happened with Avowed. If that had, I don't know, Elder Scrolls slapped on it, right? Way more people would have bought it, but it still wouldn't have been Elder Scrolls.
Yep, I totally agree. They
Yeah.
just want to use a name to push
They
their
just slap the
agenda.
name,
We
yeah.
see that in movies, we see that in games. We just keep seeing
Absolutely.
it all the time, and it's so annoying. And again, it's so evil because once again, they are trying to manipulate everybody
Mhm.
by using a big name of a game or whatever
Indeed.
the case may be to just put all the things that they want to push and establish in the world.
Yeah,
That's
and
what they,
I
and
think
everything is
that's
modern,
Mhm.
and we are supposed to have something that's from the past. So they can't even acknowledge the past. They can't even acknowledge how the past was, what the past supposed to be. And even if it's a fantasy based on the past, you still have to absolutely adopt some of the elements that makes everything feel real, because
Yeah.
otherwise it can't. Even if it's a fantasy story, you have to base whatever you're doing on something real in from the past.
Well, yeah, I mean, most fantasy stories are based on certain mythologies anyway. So it's like with The Witcher, it's Slavic mythology. Some of the other fantasy stories come from, you know, those fairy tales that we used to read as children from the Grimm brothers, or you know, the other things that actually come from Europe and things like that. So if it's based on, so if we make a fantasy game based of African mythology, great. I wouldn't like to see a white guy inside. It won't fit. You know? But again, I wanted to say that people should be really smarter than this and stop buying things just because of a name. You know, so if you're a Fable fan, the moment you see this, you shouldn't be, oh, Fable, so I'm buying it. No, that's not Fable. That's not the Fable I know. So I'm not going to buy it. That's why watch the trailer and everything that it happens there. And you know, if you have played the old Fable games, or if you have watched something, I haven't played them, but I watched retrospectives about them. Seem like great games. I wouldn't buy that there if I was a Fable fan. I see no Fable.
Yeah, same thing with Dragon Age. You know, people say, "Oh my gosh,
exactly.
I'm such a huge Dragon Age fan. I'm totally gonna buy the new game."
No,
I
no,
know
yeah.
what people are saying about it, but I'm still gonna play because I'm such a huge
No,
fan.
no.
My guy, the game is lost. It's
Absolutely.
not what it was. It's not Dragon
Yeah,
Age anymore.
It's not.
It's just a bunch of crap. You're gonna be lectured a lot. You're gonna have a subpar gameplay. It's not. Just play the older game. Just
Yeah.
remember what it was.
Exactly. If you're a true fan, you should know, and not just buying things because it's something like when people buy, for example, just a certain type of shoes because of the brand, but they make shit now. But they keep buying it because it's a certain brand, and they say, but it's not the same, man. It's not the same.
You're supposed to buy the quality that stands behind the brand. If this quality is not behind the brand anymore, you shouldn't subscribe to it
Nobody
anymore.
is going to tap you on the back for being such a great fan, buying your stuff. No, you're a great fan if you recognize when the shit is shit.
And call them out on so
And
they
call
can
them out on
improve
it.
and not lick
Exactly.
their asses. That's actually very good feedback.
Yeah, we didn't say about the new Superman movie that it's a great Superman movie because we have Superman fans. No, it's
It's
crap.
right.
Shite. Everything. Scheiße. Everything that we can say on different languages for that word. Yeah.
Scheiße, it's crap. It's shite.
Everything.
Okay, I just wanted to say one thing. Damn it, God, there's so many things.
So many.
Oh
things.
yes, just want to say a quick example. Yeah. So, for example, Wakanda, it's made on the basis that there is amazing culture in Africa that happened to be black because people there are black. And how many white people did they had in their culture because it's fantasy? Oh, it's fantasy. They can do whatever they want. They still grounded in the reality of the fact that, you know, indigenous people in Africa are supposed to be black, and there's an ancient culture that's very advanced and whatever. They would want all of those people to be black, not what one white person is there. And the same logic should be applied to anything else.
Do you know what they missed in the movies with Wakanda actually? Wakandan people ain't no freaking racist. But anyway.
Yeah. They shouldn't be. They're so higher up in their intelligence.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
You know, should be very moral and protective of their culture. They should apply the same logic to the other peoples and respect their culture and respect whatever race they are, and just judge them on merit.
In early comic books, you're never going to see the Dora Milaje saying, we have the authority, whatever we happen to be. But if you see it in some comic books after 2016, that's because the people who wrote it had the agenda. Most of those modern Black Panther comic books are actually written by outspoken, not lesbians, but active black activists, and we know that.
They're probably
But actually,
too.
Black Panther was created by white guys people.
Yeah.
But that's a different
Which
topic.
prove how much not racist white people can be.
Exactly.
But I want to say their line because it's super egotistical and horrible.
Do it.
Hitting a spear in the ground.
Exactly.
The Dora Milaje has authority where the Dora Milaje happens to be.
Yeah. Here we go.
Okay, I'm ready.
Oh, the things in the world, man. All the things in the Dora Milaje. Oh.
Okay.
Oh, pass the technology there, man. Yeah.
And the deadly
Black
tarantula.
There I come and me wanna go home.
I hit the mic. The tsunami, do you have comments?
I know we're running out of time.
Yeah, actually,
God
that's
damn
the
it.
only comment that's
Yes,
important.
you're running out of time is the comment. Okay, continue with Vera.
And in this case, if you typed I don't know, generic fantasy game 172 as the title instead of Fable, less people would buy it. So it says Playground Games, the developers behind the Fable reboot, place diversity, equity, and inclusion at the heart of their culture under the principle everyone belongs. They view diverse backgrounds as essential to driving creativity and innovation. I say this all the time. It should not matter what your gender is, what your culture is, what your skin tone is. You should be able to get a job if you are the best person for the job. An issue that we see, though, is that companies have these checklists, whether it is for people they are hiring or people they are representing in products, and you have to go down those checklists and you have to tick off as many boxes as possible, or else you are going to get your studio shut down. You're not going to get more projects in the future, and you're going to upset your superiors. And, well, the best people for the job are often not getting hired to do the job. It's just the best person that fits their diversity quota. It says the studio supports 4 employee-led employee resource groups: Women at PG, Pride at PG, for LGBTQ plus employees, people of color at PG, and Mind at PG. Inside the company, efforts include running inclusive recruitment and leadership training, redesigning the studio for better accessibility, and offering benefits like healthcare and trans-inclusive coverage, and female representation has increased from 8 employees to over 100, and the studio consistently scores above 90% on inclusive culture surveys. And inclusive culture surveys don't matter if your studio gets shut down in 2 years because your title comes out and it fucking fails. Do you guys not remember what happened with Lionhead? It was mismanaged, Microsoft shut him down, and now you guys at Playground Games are the ones that are dealing with Fable. But you're going to be next on the chopping block if you don't actually, I don't know, do a good job. But it's not just an overall company culture that is the problem. It is also the people they are hiring. This post has been getting quite a bit of traction on social media over the past day.
Here
it
we
has
go.
to do with the account named Willow Rose Dawn. As you can see, they've got a whole lot of flags in their name, which, by the way, their posts are now protected. But they are a level designer too at Playground Games, trans femme. She, her, they, them, secretly a deer. It's really bringing me back to the Twitch moderation team, the safety advisory council.
That's a totally normal person right there.
Secretly, she's
Secretly a deer.
Nice.
Yeah, totally
Okay.
not mentally challenged.
No.
She's absolutely fine. That's the people that makes the game. People makes games. It's great.
Council, where you had one of the moderators LARPing as a deer eating grass on a live stream and having somebody scratch behind their ears. Definitely a wild timeline we are living in. But you now have this, their social media history, which this is just one of the many people that are working on Fable. I'm sure that there are dozens of people who agree with the sentiment, who would share the same type of posts, but they had said a couple of months ago, to be honest, this just makes me want to make more aggressively queer games. Fuck the hate. I don't do this for you. I do this for 15-year-old me who thought they would never make games or be the woman they knew they were. So anytime people push back against forced diversity,
They knew it's a woman, but it's they.
But it's they. Yeah, it's a deer.
I mean,
Also,
if she's
apparently.
competent, nobody will stop her make games. Just free, like you're free to make games. Just don't put your ass in the game. Don't put your ideology, which is located in the ass of those people in the game.
Most of the time, yeah.
When it's a female, when it's a man, they're putting their peepees in.
But it's a deer,
And,
Josh. It's a deer.
You know, shitting over it. And anyway, that's a horrible image that they just put in your head. Continue.
within the video game industry or entertainment in general, when it's not done naturally by developers and it is done to push a specific agenda, these people say they are going to double, triple, and quadruple down, and they are going to make even more aggressively queer games, which clearly isn't working out for them. So many people have rejected modern audience titles like Concord, like Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn, like Dustborn, like Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. I could go on and on all day say about these types of games that have failed, but they're not selling. And so you need to clearly realize people don't give a fuck about you pushing your identity onto characters. People don't want you pushing your politics into games. We are playing games as a form of escapism. We want to have.
We do have to cut it here, but please
Yeah.
go watch the full video of our Dark crapping on those horrible things that shouldn't be done in gaming.
Also, just want to say, deers are actually beautiful animals.
Very
That
beautiful.
there ain't no deer.
No.
Just ain't no deer.
No,
Sorry,
also
yes.
gazelles and
Yes.
all of that amazing animals. Tsunami, you can still add a quick comment because, yeah, before we move on to the first article actually of today.
No, she's 100% correct. I think this tweet alone says everything that needs to be said. I've heard even more troubling things about Fable the game. We've been talking about it in chat. Things like they're going to do interviews, like similar to the TV show The Office in the game, just totally like breaking all the fantasy and fairy tale elements of it. You've got all this kind of weird shit going on, the ugliness, and then you've got these people. Like, why did it get so hard to say you're fired because you're crazy? And like start firing these fucking people. I don't understand what these executives are doing, losing so much fucking money. Just you're fucking fired. Get out of here, you lunatic. And that's it. The end.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
That's how it should be. Okay, guys, let's know what you think in the comments about all of that. Now let's move on to actually first article of today. We will go through this very fast, actually. Actually, we do want to rant about it. But,
Yeah.
okay, so guys, Jason Momoa as Lobo. James Gunn unveils first look in Supergirl teaser. Finally. Well, yes, finally. A lot of people wanted to see Lobo. A lot of people think that Jason Momoa is perfect for the role. Yes, in terms of his acting ability, look, and attitude, which he
behavior,
adapts perfectly. But he doesn't look okay as Lobo, guys. No, he actually looks like a small piece of shit. And I don't like him because this is how Lobo looks like. He is big, he is very strong, and by this point I because he's out of this world, I prefer if he was CGI almost, so they can get his size correct.
Yeah.
Because Jason Momoa doesn't want to train for absolutely nothing. He has a dead bod with muscles on the upper part of the body. Lower part looks like sack of potatoes, and I just don't appreciate his work ethic in this kind of a way. We need standards, and you very well maybe have noticed so far that James Gunn has no standards when it comes to superhero physiques, because although David Cornsweet changed a lot how he looked like from previously when he was cast, he gained a lot of muscle, he also gained a lot of fat, and we never saw his body. Even when he was showing his gym progress by doing the most muscular pose in the gym, his full body on the front side was completely covered by his tank top piece of cloth. So we never seen actually his physique.
Yeah.
We saw that he made good arms, but he was very fluffy in this side. You can actually see that there's a bit of a side boob that's showing, and you see that that's kind of flappy and not that it has the word for that. It's not that tight, looking. You see that there's some looseness over there, so they never want to show his physique. The costume, the Superman costume reflects that as well, and they didn't want to look like a weight t-shirt, like James Gunn said. So he's a freaking soy man. He never worked out seriously in his life, if at all, and he wants his superheroes to reflect himself. So now we see super villain or whatever guy, anti-hero that Lobo is. I doubt that even Millie Alcock will work out day of her life for this. She's obviously in good physical condition, but is that a superhero shape? I wouldn't say so unless I can see her naked or something. Not naked, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, this is me. Sorry. In some kind of a possible way so we can actually see her physique shown, because they did put muscles on the suit despite what James Gunn likes to say, you do have to have some kind of a padding in order for that suit to stay good. So he basically looks like a freaking homeless person.
The only thing that they did accurate is his motorcycle there, you know?
Yeah.
That's why they put the freaking coat instead of the jacket that he usually wears. They put the freaking coat so that they can hide most of the flabbiness there,
Yeah.
you know? So a beard and a long hair, Lobo does not make. How do you say? Yeah, he has the correct attitude. Yeah, he was born for that role. But Jesus Christ, man, work out like you did for Aquaman.
Yeah.
You know, we saw what his body can look like in Aquaman, also in Justice League. I mean, that
I'm gonna show you a
should be,
picture. I'm
you
gonna
know.
I'm gonna find a picture of how he actually looks like. So now start reading the article, and we'll see where we go. If it's too long, we're gonna stop it. So yeah, start reading it.
One of the more enticing elements of the upcoming DCU film, Supergirl, is seeing Jason Momoa play DC's intergalactic bad boy bounty hunter Lobo. And today, James Gunn gave fans their first look at the former Aquaman as the main man. When the Supergirl trailer landed online a month ago, Lobo was almost entirely absent. A quick glimpse at him from behind was all the ad offered, with focus reasonably being on the titular character and her drunken exploits and her dog peeing on Superman. But today, James Gunn posted a quick video on his X and Instagram accounts showing Jason Momoa walking out of his trailer, smoking a cigar, as the cameraman asks him if he has any comments on playing Lobo. As Momoa gets into his car, he growls, "Finally!" and laughs as footage of him as Lobo cuts in. DC fans have been looking forward to seeing Jason Momoa as Lobo, mostly because the actor and character pairing seem like such a perfect fit. Not only does Momoa, a big guy with long dark hair, physically resemble Lobo, aside from the alien skin tone of the character, but he can personify Lobo's attitude, as seen in roles like Dante in the last Fast and Furious movie. Not the weird peacocking scenes, but the ones where he's portrayed as a down and dirty villain. Lobo is fun and cool, someone who would make a nice X-Factor in Gunn's Superman saga, and Momoa's appearance as the character is almost destined to be a highlight of these films.
Okay,
All
you
the
can
same,
stop there. You can stop there. That's bullcrap. So, take a look at the picture and, full body, all of that. So, as you can see here, guys.
Very underwhelming.
Yeah, what is this? Like, what is this? Like, where is his muscles? Is this a drawing of something that resembles abs? Like, what the heck is that? Like, his arms are big, which it kind of looks like he has something over his actual arms. Looks like a suit on the arms, like sleeves of muscles. But they didn't do that for the body. I wish they made him at least, have like this suit that like Skeletor has.
At least that, yeah,
in,
would be nice.
Masters of the Universe trailer, because it will make sense for him to look a bit artificial and weird. He's an alien.
He's an
that
alien.
Just happens to be humanoid.
They tried to do a Lobo also in that horrible TV show Krypton. This doesn't look better, and that there was a show with not very high budget. Here we talk about Hollywood movie and still nothing.
Still looks like a horrible cosplay. And nothing more, actually. It's very weak, very soy, very small. He's very small. Lobo should be very big.
Yeah.
So even if they went this route with a muscle suit, like they did for, I think, The Rock, with the new.
Oh, for a Black Adam.
No. He didn't have anything there. That was kind of the point, actually, of the suit, that he didn't have padding.
He had him to shoulders.
I'm not sure if I believe that. Anyway, in Moana. Live action, he is said to be wearing a suit there instead of his own physique.
Well, here we go, yeah.
So they could have always done that.
Yeah, I mean, he's an alien, so...
He's an alien.
Just like freaking Skeletor.
He doesn't need to look realistic from our standpoint. He does need to look real on screen.
We do want to see...
alien.
We do want to see big Lobo. As in the comic books. That's what we're gonna see. So yeah, use some paddings, prosthetics, or whatever there you have to use it,
The only thing that's very big on Jason Momoa as Lobo is his freaking head.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Also, his hair looks kind of dirty.
and it's too big for that body, and it just
Yeah.
looks too big for the body, and this makes his whole physique smaller. You know, when your hair is bigger, your whole body is gonna be smaller. That's actually a very funny point and a line from the nanny, because she always made her hair really big because in the 90s, you know, the TV show The Nanny with Fran Drescher, and she made her hair very big, and she's like, hey, the bigger the hair, the smaller the hips.
Yeah.
But that's only goes for girls, you know, in that context, not for men. For men, it's worse. That is why, actually, when you watch that wrestling movie with Zac Efron,
Oh yeah.
and he has a freaking He-Man hair on him, his body looks small. He's muscular, but his body looks small. His head looks big and square, so it doesn't look good at all. Anyway, tonight, please let me know your thoughts.
I know you guys really hit it all. This is obviously James Gunn seeing modern day California and the bikers that roll around there and incorporating that instead of looking at a comic book and seeing what he should have done.
Exactly. He's beyond looking at a comic book, apparently. He doesn't need to do that. So,
Yeah.
He thinks that, no, I know who Lobo is. I have seen him. Have you seen him? Have you seen how he looks like? 'Cause that there is not Lobo.
I mean, we knew that we're gonna get a disappointment, so we're just gonna have him. I mean, we're having a confirmation. So.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, guys, just let me know what you think in the comments. Do you like Lobo? Do you don't like how Lobo looks like? Do you think he has to look more comic book accurate? Because everybody is saying this looks comic book accurate. I even commented on Mr. H Reviews video about that, because Mr. H Reviews supposed to be based, but sometimes he says the most stupid shit ever, like not informed at all. He speaks from like a normie perspective, and he used to be a super big guy, like big as Batista, like huge muscular dude. I was really surprised when I watched his older videos that he was really huge. And I wrote a comment under his video reaction of Lobo because he said so many good things about it, like, I don't know, there's something iffy about it, I can't put my finger on it. I'm like, man, you used to be a huge big muscular dude. Do you really think that that guy Lobo fits the bill?
Yeah.
When he was so big, you gonna tell me that's accurate? You don't know what accurate is when it comes to comic books.
Exactly.
That's the homeless version of a Lobo that never ate food in his life, and he went through space, scavenged trash, and ate trash from a garbage bin.
He probably did that.
So
It's like saying that Adam West is a comic book accurate Batman. He has no muscles there.
So that's nonsense. People just see makeup and they say,
Yeah,
"Oh,
and the
it's
hair,
accurate,
and you know,
man."
oh, Jason, yeah, he behaves like Lobo anyway. Yeah, but what is the physique? What is the physique of that character?
Not only behavior matters. Okay, now we gotta really move on. We gotta talk about this. We do. So let's start, guys. So Zack Snyder has new Justice League plans as James Gunn is kept quiet, exclusive. So let's see how exclusive and interesting this is and how much merit does it have. Tonight, start reading, please.
Right. Zack Snyder has new Justice League plans as James Gunn is kept quiet, exclusive. Following recent reports, I asked my WB insiders for an update on the state of the DC universe. Here's the latest. Zack Snyder's Justice League plans might not be what you think anymore. And James Gunn is being kept from overpromising on his DCU plans. Netflix versus Paramount could decide Snyder's DC future. My DC insiders tell me that while Snyder has shared some of the previous Justice League plans publicly, his current ideas have shifted because superhero movies have shifted. And like everything else at Warner Brothers Discovery right now, what happens next depends on who ends up owning the place. That backdrop got even messier this week after Bloomberg reported FCC Chairman Brendan Carr sees legitimate competition concerns with Netflix's proposed acquisition of WBD's studios and streaming businesses, concerns he doesn't share if Paramount Skydance were to acquire those assets. From what I've been told, Zack Snyderverse is fully back in play with the WBD sales to Paramount. Saudis are still involved, while the hope is that if Netflix ends up buying WBD, Snyder could do The Dark Knight Returns with Ben Affleck. While Christopher Nolan said he won't be directing at Netflix, I'm told Nolan could still be involved and would consider working with Zack as an executive producer since Zack values his opinions. Why Snyder's Justice League thinking has changed. Regarding Snyder's potential changes to his original Justice League sequel plans, the Insider's point isn't that Snyder is randomly rewriting the past, it's that the entire superhero market is different than when the Justice League sequel roadmaps were first being kicked around. We can argue that back then, studios sold fans on long runway plans. Now the pitch seems more flexible and immediate. Fewer chessboard teases, more payoff. Bigger theatrical reason to go, or it gets swallowed by streaming habits and audience fatigue. That's also why I'm told Snyder's private ideas today aren't a carbon copy of the old Justice League sequel blueprint he's teased in the past. He's adapting to where the genre is now and what actually gets people to show up. The WB sale cloud is why everything feels frozen. Here's the part fans keep feeling without always seeing. There's real hesitation inside the company because nobody knows who's ultimately going to get WBD. Netflix and WBD recently announced they amended their deal to an all-cash transaction. The bidding fight has been getting uglier in public, with Netflix's side taking shots at Paramount Skydance's competing offer. Now add regulators into the mix. Carr's comments are basically a warning flare that the Netflix route could face more scrutiny than a Paramount Skydance outcome. That's exactly what David Ellison has been stating all along, who reportedly has the favor of President Trump and the Trump administration. If you're inside DC Studios, that translates to one thing. Don't lock yourself into promises a new owner can cancel on day one. DeLuca and Abdi are keeping Gunn from overpromising. According to The Insider, Mike DeLuca and Pam Abdi are trying to keep things steady at WBD. Everyone's on pins and needles because now nobody knows who's eventually going to get WB, our insider said. This follows a recent report from Puck News, which insinuated DeLuca and Abdi are fully in charge of WB films, including Gunn's DCU. Gunn may no longer be answering strictly to Zaslav, not confirmed. The evidence of the difference between DeLuca and Abdi and Gunn at WBD comes from simply reading Deadline's recent interview with DeLuca and Abdi, and then reading Gunn and Safran's PR stunt with Bloomberg. Worlds of difference. Among other things, the message is to avoid committing to specifics that might not materialize once the ownership situation is settled. That's also the suggested explanation for why James Gunn has been more cryptic lately about projects and even his own future. It's not just personality, it's risk management. Nobody wants another era of big announcements that later turn into quiet walkbacks. It hurts the brand. The Insider adds that the sale of WBD is taking a toll across multiple studio groups because everyone's waiting on discussion or decisions that can't be made cleanly until the sale picture clears up. The Affleck and Dark Knight Return talk is still there. There's also been talk, I'm told, that Ben Affleck still loves Batman and would come back under the right circumstances. Check out that Kevin Smith tease. The Insider connects that to Snyder's real passion play, a comic accurate The Dark Knight Returns with Affleck's. I've also been told that Snyder is using his social media posts to gauge fan feedback. Reactions have exploded online, which aligns with why you'll see him surface old material while also, again, from what I've been told, quietly recalibrating what the next step would look like in a very different superhero landscape. Nolan and Netflix, not directing, but maybe advising. One other detail from The Insider, while Christopher Nolan doesn't want to direct for Netflix, he might be open to a limited role if it's tied to Zack Snyder. Think executive producer or advisor, more giving Snyder input than making a Nolan Netflix movie. What this means for DC right now, since WBD's ownership is up in the air, DC will keep operating as if it's in a holding pattern. That's the bigger context behind new Justice League plans. Snyder can evolve his pitch for where superhero movies are now, Affleck can be open under the right circumstances, and Gunn can keep being cryptic because he's being kept from overpromising until the corporate dust settles. End article.
All right. So basically, this is neither here or there. And I'm not sure what Zack is thinking, if this is really possible for him to come back. I'm pretty sure that if he just continues his plans, doesn't matter how the world has changed, it's actually gonna hit very hard because nothing like that is on the screen right now.
Yeah.
Nobody will do that if it's not for him. And the original plans were pretty groundbreakingly interesting compared to
Absolutely.
everything that we are getting. Pretty brave. And that's not what we're getting right now. Now we're
Yeah.
getting Marvel trying to lick people's asses, but not in a very smart way. If the rumors are true about Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man getting killed in the first few minutes of the new Avengers Doomsday movie. So, people are shaped by the movies that they watch. So even if there's a trend that he can perceive right now, the trend that's crumbling. That's not really a reflection of what people want to see. It's a reflection of it's a reflection of what studios think that people want to see. And then we have this confusion about what's actually trending and what's actually desirable.
Yeah.
But
indeed.
the reactions that he is testing, that Zack Snyder is testing on Instagram, that's the real deal. And of course, us as content creators who are very into these things and know what we're talking about and have been watching the story, have been discussing his previous ideas with the script and everything, and we explained like last week why this would work and what it actually mean in terms of like true meaning that's gonna be put on Superman, and it's pretty great. We've never seen that on screen before. It is a great reflection on the comic books. If you want to go there in that direction, it could be pretty epic, and it is according to the script. So we want to see something like that. It's totally in a different direction than what Marvel are doing, and we want to see something in totally different direction of what this is currently doing, which is the worst soy gay representation of Superman that we have ever seen, and the disrespect of a lifetime that we see
really,
of all the characters that are there.
Yeah.
But to do this to Superman is even worse. So to me, if he just continues his work, we're gonna be extremely happy, and the movies are gonna make money because he did bring into fruition his vision with Justice League, and everybody went to see it.
Absolutely. People still, buy merchandise from Justice League
still being made.
BVS, and it's still being made.
It's a demand.
People still have that, whereas in many shops in different countries, the merchandise for the Superman 2025 is just peg warming. Nobody's buying it. I was in a group that also show a photo of that, and one guy said, well, but that's because they were never in my country. And I wrote, man, I'm from Bulgaria. We have them here. Nobody's buying them here either. Yeah, but I would buy them because I wanted even the whole girl. I said, okay, man, nobody else wants that.
Yeah, he wants that.
You want it, cool. Nobody else wants that. The mass doesn't want that. Whereas actually the masses still want, and that's why the companies like Fonjoy, McFarlane, whoever, InArt,
still making
BVS figures and Justice League. Because people want them.
The new Superman figure is coming this year from InArt.
From InArt, yeah.
Again, like classic Superman also coming, other stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we really don't have time. Actually, it's 12:03.
Over.
Tonight, please tell us what you think first.
I know you guys did everything. I know you guys are gonna go. So,
all right, Logan, do we have like 10 minutes for the Warhammer thing?
Well, yeah, we just have to be very quick after that.
Okay, because it's super important. Okay, guys, let's know what you think in the comments about this article. And now we are moving on really, really quickly to this shocking and appalling article from Wargamer. And it says, I'm a woman who's never played Warhammer 40k, and female Custodes make me want to start. Well, first of all, that's absolute bullshit.
Christ, yeah.
Because as I said before, if you haven't noticed, I'm a woman. Yeah, is it noticeable? So, I started 6 years ago when I saw the Astartes project, which is a fan-made video series on YouTube by Sayama Pedersen, an animator that did this all by himself, maybe with a bit of assistance here or there, but mainly by himself. And I was so impressed by these huge muscular guys that were walking around and beating the shit out of unknown entities that I never seen before. And frankly, it was actually his idea. It was kind of original. Those entities are not in Warhammer, but that's not the point. The point is I got so fascinated with Warhammer 40k, started researching about it, reaching out to the community, wanted to be advised on where to start, what to read, what to understand. And before I knew it, I was already in it. I loved it as it is. I love the exact manliness of the universe and badassery that I never seen before expressed in that way. To me, it was extremely original, and and I do know that's based on other things, but the way that Warhammer is done, the elements that it combines, to me, are super cool and original. The way it combines, not that it's original all by itself, but you know what I mean, hopefully. So this is what made me want to be there, because I'm a geek. I'm a girl that wants geeky, manly things. So if you are like that, and if you happen to be a woman, you will totally vibe with Warhammer. It's gonna give you everything that you actually want, and you will not need a representation, because normal brains don't work like that. Normal brains see quality, no matter if that quality comes from guys that created something, from girls that created something, or they are girls or guys on the screen. You don't care. You want compelling story. You want compelling looking characters that kick ass or do whatever is that you need to find for yourself, to be a fan of. I don't know how to explain it otherwise. So whatever this article is going to say, it's going to be complete and utter fabricated, disingenuous bullcrap. So Tsunami, please read the disingenuous bullcrap right now.
If you think that adding tiny plastic women to a war game like Warhammer 40k doesn't make a difference, I assure you, it really, really does. From troglodyte Molly Russell. I don't play Warhammer 40k. There are many reasons why, despite for our website, literally called Wargamer, I've avoided it all. But damn, do those new Adeptus Custodes models look cool. The fierce brows, mighty mohawks, and glorious golden armor mark the first time that I've seriously wanted to join in with the war game. And it's 100% because they're women. Warhammer 40k is many things, but its most obvious is the power fantasy. When you ignore its more satirical elements, it's a setting where you play act as one of the most powerful creatures in the galaxy, a literally perfect superhuman. It's also an overwhelmingly male power fantasy where your muscles are enormous, your emotions are surgically removed, and the only real relationships that matter are the ones of brotherhood. That's fine. No complaints from me there. Women can enjoy a good old-fashioned power fantasy as much as the next gender, Slay Queen. Plenty of us enjoy having muscles and killing Tyranids too. It is a little off-putting when that fantasy's most important factions have a literal sign out front that says, "No girls allowed." Nah. But I'm not here to reopen the "why can't women be space marines" argument. There are plenty of Warhammer veterans that have discussed this at length. Some right here on Wargamer. What I'm trying to do is explain the feeling I get when I look those Adeptus Custodes girls in the eye. Ugh. I saw myself, or at least I saw who I wish I could be. Someone of immense power and potential. Someone bold and assertive in an over-the-top outfit. Someone who could do all that without compromising on anything, especially their femininity. Suddenly, I understood the Warhammer power fantasy.
No, stop it right there. Stop it right there. Especially their femininity. You want to tell me that those
I told you about this article.
Now
I
wait a
read it, I
minute,
was
mister.
like,
That right there on the photo doesn't even look like one. So
No.
what femininity?
It doesn't. So,
Jesus Christ.
you want to tell me, especially their femininity, compromising? How feminine are those Custodes, Mr. Woman? How
It
much?
gets so much worse.
Okay.
She also says that
It gets
she,
so much. I'm telling you, like, you want to read this article so you can hate this person even more.
I already hate her since the title, but she
It's
also
so
says
much
that she
worse.
would enjoy to have muscles and be full of potentials, but ain't gonna
She shits
do
on
it.
Sisters of Battle.
But ain't
She
gonna
shits
do
on
it, and she
Sisters
has
of
that,
Okay,
yeah.
hold on. Okay, continue.
Especially their femininity. Suddenly, I understood the Warhammer power fantasy in a way I never had before. I couldn't relate to the sci-fi setting's extreme performances of masculinity before, but now I found a way in. Some of you might be asking, why now? The Sisters of Battle have been around for years. They sure have, but that's not what my power fantasy looks like. It's your typical space marine is an extreme performance of maleness. The Adeptus Sororitas are an extreme performance of femininity. I'm even tempted to throw the term male gaze into the mix. These are warriors whose armor shows off their curves and thighs. They have stereotypical boob armor, where each breast is highlighted, highly impracticable blade. Under the helmets, everyone seems to be wearing impeccable makeup. I'm glad the Sisters of Battle exist. For some women, fighting while looking fabulous is the ultimate power fantasy. But it isn't for me. That's because women, who make up almost half of the world's population, if you didn't know, are not a monolith. We're not a hive mind plotting society's downfall in secret. We promise.
Hold
There is the
on.
famous Arthurian ballad.
No, 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 please, no,
Boy,
no.
I sure can
No.
see that this ain't her power fantasy. By the way she looks, yeah.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
So,
Can
maleness?
we just have a minute to appreciate Tsunami's voice there also? Yeah.
Yes, please, 10 out of 10 Tsunami. Now, Sisters of Battle have been around for years. They should have, but that's not my power fantasy. Looks
It's
like.
not my. You know, who
She
cares
goes
about
into
what your
detail.
power fantasy is? If it's not for
so
you, it's not
bad.
for you. Just go the hell out of here.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah,
Women want to look beautiful and sexy and feminine.
absolutely.
Men wants to look at
Some
feminine and
women
beautiful
do.
women.
Absolutely.
So we agree. We actually agree here. Guys and women agree. I mean, guys that are sound in mind and girls that are sound in mind. This is not the sound person. This is not the same person. No, no, no. They hate beauty. So we have the same thing that we talked about from the gaming world because woke activists are the same and they think the same. So they hate beauty. They hate what makes a woman a woman. They want to destroy that. That's not feminism. That's anti-feminism. You want to
Absolutely.
purge beauty.
Absolutely.
That's evil. Like, realize it. You're so sad and pathetic.
So I guess that by her logic, I couldn't be a fan of Wonder Woman and the Amazons and things like that because there are no men there, and I can't have this power fantasy. I can't
You cannot relate.
anything there,
Yes, you
really.
can't
But then
relate.
by that
You
logic, we shouldn't be fans of anything. It's
we
just-
we
She
relate
explains herself.
to yes. So we
You, oh,
Okay.
it's so bad.
Yes.
This is like when I said that people shouldn't, even when we talked about superheroes and stuff like that, if you like the character for who he or she is, for the story, then you like the character. You shouldn't try to change anything. Like, for example, I want to see the Punisher not killing people, for example. Tsunami, would you like to see that? Hell no. That ain't no Punisher.
I just want to say one thing, so we have to continue.
Jesus Christ.
So, human beings that are normal relate to men and women alike if they have qualities to present, if they have moral compass or anything at all that makes them interesting and engaging. So even if you're a man and you like Wonder Woman, you will like Wonder Woman because she has heroic qualities that make her a good person, qualities that say, well, this is a true warrior, she wants to save the world, I can relate to that, I'm a good person,
Yep.
people should be protected, all of those things. It's relatable things that are based in humanity, they're not based in gender.
Yeah.
That has to be somewhere on the screen, that has to be like a tablet has to be made, that relatability is based on human qualities and not on gender. So this is ridiculous. Also, male gaze. How about female gaze? I want to see those women being beautiful again. And they're not even my favorite faction. I love them. It's just that the Custodes are my favorite faction. The men Custodes, the real ones. Also, RJ did the video calculating how many men Custodes could be made in comparison to women. And if you take the women as Custodes, you destroy the Custodes because you remove the numbers of the Custodes that could be made. And that's totally realistic. Even if a woman has only 3 children in her life, she's not completely exploited, she's not a
There's
burning
like
machine.
10 more paragraphs. You have no idea.
Oh,
boy.
I don't know how we're gonna do
And
this.
no time too.
Maybe we should.
I'll skip the shitty parts and just get to the really like, are you fucking kidding me?
Okay,
go
okay,
there.
go to the fucking kidding me part.
Parts.
All right. So next couple of paragraphs is just some stupid Arthurian legend. She claims some women want glamour,
even if that means wearing boob armor. Personally, I want a woman who looks like she roars when she fires her guardian spear. I want heavy, bulky armor that could clearly take a hit with the stompiest boots possible to match. I want shaved heads and mohawks because, hey, I have those in real life. Oh my god. The new Adeptus Custodes models aren't just giving me a cool female miniature range, they are giving me choice. I'm no longer segregated in the world of Warhammer, forced to pick a single army if I want to play with toys that look like me. Hell, with these new models, you can even choose how many of your Custodes are girls, from gender diverse troops to an all-out feminist army. Dropping down, let's see where it gets remotely useful. Okay. Here it is. This is crazy. Let's talk a little more about why I'm so desperate to see myself in Warhammer. Y'all have heard the phrase, representation matters, thrown around plenty in the past decade. It might feel like a tired buzz phrase by now, but it's true. When I walk into a wargaming club and see no female figures on or around the table, I'm on guard from the get-go. However polite the men rolling dice at their tables might be, it sends a subtle, silent message. You do not belong here. A room with no women in it is more likely to hold spaces for sexist ideas. It's more likely to be a space where I have to fight, not on the miniature battlefield, but to justify my presence. I'm expected to be patronized, belittled, sexualized, or simply made to feel awkward. It's not guaranteed to happen, but it's absolutely happened before. Scrolling down, I'll just end this nonsense out, although you should read it, it's horrible. Unlike the Sisters of Battle, women in the Adeptus Custodes fight side by side with transhuman men of equal, incredible power. Sisterhood and brotherhood in the world of Warhammer no longer seems to be a gulf apart. That's the energy I want to see taken to the Wargaming Club. Women are not a separate group to be held at a wary distance, but welcomed into the fray. I don't play Warhammer 40k, but that's about to change. Whether you're a Warhammer vet or not, you're welcome to join our Wargamer Discord, where we chat about all kinds of scissoring. The end.
Jesus Christ, if it wasn't for you
That real?
from the
That seems
beginning,
such a throw.
I know, Jesus Christ, yeah. If it wasn't for you in the beginning, then it's not for you, never.
Basically, she included everything that
Yeah.
woke people ever said
So bad.
and put
I
it
wish
in
So
we
this
I
had
arc.
more
shouldn't
time.
like the Space Wolf just because they, you know, have
Hold
typical
on.
Viking things and things. Yet
I
Nothing
wanted
makes
to
sense.
read
Nothing
every
makes sense.
sentence of this to put it out there in the world because the adjoining X comments are amazing. There's a picture of a Sister of Battle in it too. I wanted to read this so badly, but I understand we just got to move on.
Yeah. So she is putting out there a false narrative that women are,
Absolutely.
that we are segregated, women are not welcome there. That's absolute bullshit. There were women in Warhammer that come, like in England and whatever, they play in those, play the places in the city that are for those things. They go to Warhammer shops. They're absolutely welcome because most people are normal. Most men are like, hey, you want to play? Let's play. You know, there's very little people. I mean, men that are trying to be bullies and say to a girl,
Yeah.
"We're not gonna play here because only
Only men.
men and whatever." Many girls participate, and
Yeah,
she
indeed.
doesn't even play the game. Probably she doesn't play anything. But now she's like, oh, and now I have something. If your ego is so small and undeveloped, and by ego I mean, you know, there's high ego and low ego. Low ego is when you, what people are usually referring to when you have so many insecurities and you don't know reality and you just only see yourself and it's all about yourself without any merit or base to cover it. And high ego is when you realize your potential, intelligence and whatever you have, capabilities, but you are humble and you operate objectively with what you have been given. So she has a very low ego in this case. And this is shocking. I mean, we can dissect every little word from here, but not only that we don't have time, but this is just retarded. And I'm actually questioning if this is not just made to troll everybody that are not woke.
She looks like the other the girl that was thinking that she's a deer. They totally look the
I mean,
same.
they all look the
They all
same.
look the
That's the
same.
thing.
But then we are unique. Like, how are you unique if you look the same?
They're not attractive, and
No.
even if they could be, they won't try. They just make themselves even uglier to emphasize how they feel on the inside. So
Absolutely,
how
yeah.
they look is how they actually feel, which is really, really sad. But putting like false narratives in the world about how a hobby actually is, how people are not welcoming when that's not the case, a false narrative that you have to relate only based on gender or whatever, all that is false. It was never like that in the world. We always had movies that we related to. I grew up with action movies with freaking Arnold
Absolutely,
and
yeah.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, Sylvester Stallone, and whatever, the action movies that my dad played to me, and I grew up like that, and I always relate to the hero. I always want to be the hero, no matter if I was a girl
Yeah.
or not, because I relate to that moral standard, to the heroism that each and every person has within them. If they're good people, you want to protect others, you want to stand against evil,
That's it, yeah.
you want to win, you want to overcome evil. All those things are like inherently coded into normal people, that are good
Yeah.
people.
They inspire you to change if you have to change.
Yeah.
You don't want to see the main character. Well, I wear glasses, so the main character should also wear glasses, because hey, I have those in real life. What?
What?
Jesus Christ, what does this mean?
Ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. I think that this article is really just there to
It's like a huge troll.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
kind of like on purpose.
on purpose.
Even
yeah.
if
Oh, you don't like the female Custodes? I'm going to write now this over here.
even if she doesn't think all those things, she wants to say them just to spite everybody
spite, yeah.
and be
Yeah.
completely shocked and all of those things. But yeah, Tsunami, last words, and then we gotta go.
I mean, pretty much, you could tell in the venom in my voice
Mm.
that this fucking retard, even if this was just done for PR fucking points and whatnot, all this does is create fucking more animosity against the community that they're trying to protect, meaning their sexual lifestyle fucking communities. Because now everyone that thinks anything bad about this is now going to look at anyone that's on the other side of that fucking sexual fucking community and be like, oh, all you fucking weirdos are like this, aren't you? And that's going to fucking further ostracize them. Everything that they're doing to try and include so-called include people is pushing them further and further to the left, of course, but like away from everyone else that's fucking normal. It's absolute fucking garbage. I almost vomited the first time I fucking read this. I had to make it humorous so I didn't fucking vomit the second time I read it.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
For you.
One of my gay friends actually is a Warhammer fan. He never said, well, I want to see how the Space Marine are getting G with each other. No, man, what the hell? No, he never said. He's a fan of the Space Marine. He likes them. He likes what they represent, what happens in that universe. He likes the suits. He likes the books. I think he started off with the books, actually. I have to ask him. But that's it. Nobody wants to interject those things inside. It's really that now we make it worse for people like him.
Like I
He'll
said,
go to a hobby shop or something like that, and people who know him might actually start thinking, oh, you like those people there. You know, if you don't really know him.
This is
Christ,
literally
yeah.
the centralized theme across everything that we talked about tonight, except for Lobo, maybe. But like everything else, it's about fucking these freak activists that are in like infesting every fucking market out there, and they just have to make it about themselves. Go look in the fucking mirror. If you don't fucking like what you see, fix your fucking self.
Fix it,
Stop trying
yes.
to make it about fucking something else. So fucking
Absolutely.
stupid.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Right on. So guys, we gotta go. But thank you so much for watching, and if everything's okay, we're gonna be back at the evening. Thank you so much, Tsunami. I'm sorry that we couldn't read your comments this time, but we are almost 30 minutes beyond anything.
Well, they were having fun anyway.
Yeah, you were having fun at least. I saw
Also, a shout out to me and Grimwalk, or welcome, and you're doing a
yeah,
great job being
Grimlock.
Grimwalk all the time. So yeah,
He is Grimlock 100% of the time. I see him
100%
in his
Grimlock,
chat all
yes.
the time. Smashes chat. Yeah, he's all over the place. He never
Nice.
breaks character.
Nice. Welcome, welcome.
And
Yes.
also, and two, thank you so much for. I'm not sure what the Larian Princess is, but it sounds glorious.
Sounds glorious, yeah.
So yeah, you can explain though. But I mean, it sounds glorious. I'm flattered. So yeah. My grins are recognized.
He's great, you know, transform and all out.
El Turner was laughing. Roadkill came in the chat.
Probably.
Arrived in the chat. So yeah, guys, thank you so much. Love ya. Until next time. Thank you Tsunami for also being here and being so passionate as you are, and you guys as well. So thank you. Bye bye.
The 40K Empress leads the way as warriors of the imperium sway into realms where dangers play, where hidden minds hold sway. Through stars and storms we rise, under her watchful eyes, with faith and fire will prevail, for the imperium must not fail. For the imperium we prevail. Beneath the grand cathedral spires, plots twist like smoldering fires, but with her blade of pure desire, she claims the stars entire. Through stars and storms we rise,